So next, let's talk about equations that are quadratics in form, but not actually quadratic. So a non-quadratic equation that can be written in the form AU squared plus BU plus C is 0 for an algebraic expression U is in quadratic form. So instead of X, we're using U. You may have heard of U substitution. That's what we're going to talk about. So U is an algebraic expression. So U could be X plus 2. You could be any algebraic expression. So many equations that aren't quadratic form can be solved more easily by substituting in a temporary variable U. So if, let's say, it was of the form U, but U is X plus 2, we would substitute in X plus 2 for U in an expression into the original equation, and then work backwards to solve for our X. So let's work through a couple examples of this. So if I have 2x to the fourth plus 5x squared minus 12 is 0, we want to define a variable u in terms of x so that it's of the form au squared plus bu plus c is 0. So if I have 2x to the fourth plus 5x squared minus 12, I could let my u, zoomed in is nice, I could let my u equal x squared. So typically you want to look at that middle term, that b term. If I let u equal x squared, I could rewrite 2 as 2x squared squared, because that would give me 2x to the fourth. So let's rewrite this. Let me move this where I'm going to let it's not letting me erase. Interesting. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2x squared squared plus 5 x squared minus 12 is 0. And then I can let u equal x squared and substitute in. So I've got 2 u squared plus 5u minus 12 is 0. And then I can go ahead and factor this. So I think, okay, what are some factors of AC, which is negative 24, because it's A times C. So 2 times negative 12. That add up to B, which is 5. Well, how about 8 times negative 3? See why factoring is important. It follows us forever. So now I have 2u squared plus 8u minus 3u minus 12 is 0. And now I factor by grouping. The greatest common factor of 2u squared and 8u is 2u, so that leaves me with u plus 4. The greatest common factor of negative 3u and negative 12 is going to be a negative 3, which leaves me again with a u plus 4. And then we combine, we collect the like terms. So I have 2u minus 3 times u plus 4 equals 0. Now I can go ahead and solve. 2u minus 3 is 0, u plus 4 is 0, u equals negative 4, u equals, if I add 3 to both sides and then divide by 2, 3 halves. So that's our u. But wait, u didn't equal u. U equaled x squared. So now I have x squared equals 3 halves, and x squared equals negative 4. And I can take the square root of both sides to solve these. So I get x equals plus or minus the square root of 3 halves, and I get x equals plus or minus the square root of negative 4, that'd be 2i. So those are my 4 solutions for this first problem. I'm going to clear us a little bit of room and take a look at this second example. So let's take a look at this second example. Here it might be a little bit easier to tell what our u is supposed to be. I have 3 times x plus 5 squared minus 7 times x plus 5, and this is actually supposed to be a minus. I wanted to go ahead and correct this. This is a minus 6 equals 0. So in this case, u equals x plus 5. So I have 3u squared minus 7u minus 6 equals 0. And it has to be minus 6. That was a typo on my part. So now I want to find the factors of AC, which in this case is negative 18. That added to b, which is negative 7. Well, how about negative 9 times 2? So I have 3u squared minus 9u plus 2u minus 6 equals 0. And then I can factor by grouping. The greatest common factor of 3u squared and a negative 9u is 3u. So that leaves me with u minus 3. The greatest common factor of 2u and a negative 6 is a positive 2. And then I collect the greatest common factor. So I have 3u plus 2 is 0. And u minus 3 equals 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and solve for u. I have u is 3 minus 2. I have u is divided by 3, negative 2/3. And then I remember that u is x plus 5. So now I have x plus 5 is negative 2/3. So let's rewrite 5 as 15/3. Yep, that's correct. And then I have x plus 5 equals 3. So let me go ahead and solve. I have x equals, subtract 15/3 minus 15/3. X is negative 17/3. And if I take away 5, x is negative 2. So that would be my solution.